Hey guys, pictures of family photos are obviously the best backgrounds for videos, right? Am I considered my own family member? I think so. So today's video is going to be a truth about YouTube. I've wanted to film this for a very long time now. I've already done a how to get subscribers video, so if you're more interested in that, then the link will be down below for that video. This video is more so about like the behind the scenes of being a YouTuber and more about the business side. I know that when I first started getting into YouTube, I was just like so insanely interested about like the business side and like what it's like to actually be a YouTuber and all this kind of stuff. So hopefully this is informative or interesting to you. Now I took a very long time coming up with notes and I realized it was just like way too much information, so I compiled it into 10 points. So the first point is being in the mood to film. For example, what if you only have an hour time slot to film? You get all ready and then you realize like, wow, I'm not feeling very silly today, I'm feeling very serious, I don't really feel in the mood to talk about X, Y, and Z. And it can honestly be hard to just like turn on that charisma like right then and there. But for example, like I want my videos to be entertaining, and sometimes I feel like I'm in like a really silly mood and I can make a lot of jokes and it's just so free. And then other times I just do not feel in that mood and I kind of find it frustrating because I always want to be in that mood when I'm filming. And I've been watching some videos about this kind of side of YouTube lately, and I know I'm definitely not the only one who deals with this, but I feel like this is probably something that maybe people don't really think about. And hopefully if you're a YouTuber that you can relate to this statement and you're not alone in that. Number 2 is editing. Now editing is so insanely tedious and time consuming. When I was in high school, we actually had something called Comtech, and that is how I learned how to edit. If I didn't learn how to do that in high school, I mean, I don't know. It is pretty intimidating going from not knowing how to edit to watching these videos of people like having these kind of like spectacular effects and stuff like that. It definitely takes a long time to learn how to edit. I used to use iMovie. I just got into Final Cut Pro. I feel like it is a program that kind of takes a while to really get comfortable with. The amount of effects with Final Cut Pro in comparison to iMovie is astronomical. It will seriously just intensely up your quality. And they do have a free 30-day trial online if you're interested in trying it out. The third thing is money. So YouTubers make money through Adsense, so every single time a video plays, they get a certain amount of money depending on how long the ad is watched, if the ad is clicked, etc. It completely varies depending on whether you're with a network. I think it can even vary depending on how many subscribers you have. So for example, I get about 200,000 views a month, give or take. Could be a little bit less, could be a little bit more. So I make a nice little bit of money, especially considering how I'm a student. But what I'm trying to get at here is that like, you really don't make that much money from AdSense unless you're getting like a crazy amount of views. For example, if someone's getting like 200,000 views on every single video, yeah, they're definitely making some money. Number 4 is sponsorship. I was watching this video and it was talking about sponsorship, and it was talking about how your audience is literally all you have, and all you have is the trust of your audience. And I really took that to heart. It's extremely important to me to be transparent with you guys. Like, I really don't want to do anything that would jeopardize that. There are a lot of companies that do work with YouTubers. For example, they can offer you like $50, $100, $200 or something like that to make a video purely about their product or to plug it in some way. For me personally, I don't think that that number is worth it if you're going to potentially jeopardize the trust of your viewers. I really think that that is the number one thing, but everyone has a different opinion on it. I just really do value honesty and trust. But if you are a YouTuber and you are interested in looking into sponsorships, there is a website called FameBit. I think that you might need to have a certain amount of subscribers in order to join. I want to say 1,000, but like literally I'm just making that up. I have no idea. But someone commented on my video saying that they couldn't join because they didn't have enough subscribers, so I really don't know. But the link is down below if you're interested in checking that out. Number 5 is bulk filming. This is something that I didn't do at the beginning. Like, I would literally just film one video at a time, and now I've realized it makes the world of a difference to bulk film, meaning like filming 3 videos at a time. Depending on how often you upload, that could be almost a month's worth of videos, and it would just take a day of like very concentrated work. Especially if you're someone who has a very busy lifestyle, or if you're a student, it'd be a smart idea to like take a day, maybe a day on the weekend, and like really just go at it and film as much as you can, because that will really help you in the long run. Just remember to change your shirt. So point number 6 is talking about free stuff. YouTubers honestly can potentially get a decent amount of free stuff. just because the whole situation is mutually beneficial. I feel like this is a huge game changer in terms of marketing. Normally when there's a website or a company that wants to sell a product, they have to pay for advertising, they have to pay to make a commercial. Like, it can just cost an insane amount of money. And with social media, these companies can send people free stuff. It costs them literally next to nothing. Just the cost of the product, which they already probably have a bulk amount of, and then just shipping. For me personally, they'll email me and I'll be like, sure, I'll try this product. And it got to the point where it's like, oh my goodness, I have all of these things that I said I would include in a video, and I've realized if I were to do that, literally every single video I would make would be me showing this stuff, and to me that's not really authentic. And I do understand why that happens to YouTubers, and it's like you'll be watching someone, you're like, wow, this person has really been doing sponsored content. And I think it can put a lot of pressure on someone, especially when you're first starting off with YouTube and someone says, do you want to try out my product? And you say yes, and then they send it to you, and perhaps you don't really like it, but you might feel some pressure to put it in a video because you're like, oh my goodness, well, this person put the time and effort to send me something, so I obviously have to include it in a video. But I think that the reality is that it is your channel, so you can choose what to include and what to not include. And also, again, I think that the trust of your audience is the #1 thing, especially over a company who perhaps has sent out like 200 samples of a certain product. So coming from me, definitely do not feel obligated to include something in a video if you don't like it, or if you think that it is going to jeopardize your relationship with your viewers. #7 is emails. It can get to a point where emails are daunting because they can just really build up, especially if you're a student, for example, and like you have a school email and then you have this YouTube email. It can be really overwhelming. What I do is I actually have folders on my email, and I'll have like makeup companies, clothing companies, messages from subscribers. And also sometimes some emails that you get from companies can go to your spam. #8, I just want to talk about the time it takes to make videos. Oh my goodness. For example, like if you're going to be planning out what to say, like with this video, it took me about an hour just to sit down and like gather my thoughts. To film, it's going to take an hour. That's not considering the time that like it took for me to get ready to look like this, I guess. You have to edit, which depending on how much effort you put into editing, or if you're new to editing or whatnot, it can take so much time. Easily, editing can take 5 hours for one video. Easily. So again, if you're looking to do YouTube as a career, if you're going to compare the amount of hours that you put in to making videos, you're making less than minimum wage a lot of times. There is potential for it to be very profitable, but there has to be more of a drive than just money, because it really does take a lot of time. So #9, and I feel like this is more like sentimental, but I feel like I've learned a lot about myself. For example, when I first started editing, it was so uncomfortable to take that memory card out, put it inside of my camera, and to watch myself speak for like 9 minutes. I feel like I learned about a lot of patterns in the way that I speak, because when you think about it, you never actually really listen to yourself speak. You have conversations with people, but you're never really like looking in the mirror talking to yourself. Well, I mean, damn, I do that sometimes. Maybe you guys do that sometimes, but not to the extent of this whatsoever. So I really feel like you learn a lot about yourself, like the way that you carry yourself and just the way that you speak. So #10. Some people are gonna find it cool that you make YouTube videos, and some people aren't. Like for example, I have people in my everyday life who don't mind talking about it, or perhaps are interested with YouTube. And then I've had people in my life who I've talked to who they don't really understand it, or they're not interested in it. Some people just don't watch YouTube videos, some people just aren't interested in the industry. Perhaps you're making YouTube videos and you find that your family is confused. They're kind of like, what is Sally doing in a room? Why is she talking to herself? People are just from different generations, and I can understand how someone who is older, they might find this weird and they're like, what is my daughter or son doing right now? So what I do is I just keep in mind that everyone is different, everyone has different opinions. Some people aren't really gonna understand why I do this or why I like it or the value in it. But the main thing is that I understand it and that I like what I'm doing. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any ideas of what you would like to hear about more like truths about YouTube or the business side of YouTube or anything about YouTube, like maybe I can make another video about this, like with anything that I didn't cover. So thank you guys so insanely much for watching. I really appreciate that you guys take the time to watch my videos. I really appreciate the people who are like really active on social media and stuff like that. It seriously makes my day. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.